What's your reaction to that, David?
Oh, disappointing. We didn't play our way. I thought at the start, St Kilda jumped us. They came out and hit us pretty hard, and we were expecting it. We just didn't handle it, didn't respond, and we need to. The last couple of weeks we'll start a lot better, and we let ourselves down again today.
So is it a different problem? Do you think the starts tonight, like you said, you were ready for it, you just didn't handle it well? Is that different to previous poor starts?
Oh, when I say we're ready for it, we knew St Kilda would come fired up, but every team comes fired up. We've got to go out there and, to be honest, it doesn't really matter what the opposition do. It's how you prepare yourself and make sure you're ready to go. I thought our effort was there in the sense that we were chasing the ball, but it was probably more our clean. We weren't clean with the ball and our decision making. Often we had 2 or 3 go to 1, and then they got us on the outside.
Was it a case of the players getting too comfortable after what had happened in the last fortnight?
2 weeks. I'd like to think not, but look, I'm not exactly sure. The energy at training this week and around the club has been very similar. It didn't change, and that was probably one of the things. We lost a couple of games, and the boys were pretty buoyant, and then we won a couple of games, and it didn't change a lot. And I was really, it really impressed me. I thought their maturity around that, but it looked like at the start of the game, our absolute ruthlessness to be on just wasn't quite there yet. Having said that, we got our hands on it at times and fumbled.
How frustrating is it continues to happen that it needs a quarter-time address, or even today it looked like maybe a half-time address to actually get through to them, to what they're doing, and you went back to your old ways?
Look, it's frustrating in the sense that the boys prepare really well, and you'd like them to go out and play at their best, but the opposition come out there and often their aim is to stop that. And I thought St Kilda came out really well. I thought their pressure and their ability to win the ball and their spread early was very good. I thought we probably sat off a little bit. So again, that mindset to be really ruthless in our defence, and then when we got it right, we showed we can compete. But this game, you've got to be ready to go for 4 quarters, and I think we talk about it, but until it becomes our actions, that's going to be a real growth area and something we need to continue to learn with.
Break down ahead of the footy tonight, David, or was it at the source that you were more disappointed? Like, did you think your forwards were poor tonight?
I thought our ball use at times was probably across the field. They won the ball early. We couldn't get our hands on it early. We couldn't even find a mark. And then when they did, they used it quite well. They chipped the ball, kept possession of it. I thought once we got our hands on the ball, we probably went a little bit quick early in the game. And then as the game went on, I thought we got a bit more into our mode of shifting the ball. And we had some really good looks, and they ended up in goals against because we just missed kicks. And we probably didn't give our forwards a lot of opportunities with some good clean ball movement. And I thought at times, there was a couple of times where we had 2v1 and we didn't take that option to get it deep to them.
Feels like we asked the same questions after losses at the Blues, but did you feel that there was no one else to go with Patrick in the first half when he was getting beaten by Jack Steele?
Sorry, what was that question?
By Patrick Cripps. He had 5 touches first half. That there was no one else to sort of help him in that midfield just to kick things off?
Oh, I thought Steele just beat him. I thought, to be honest, we pushed Cripper forward because we thought Steele was just doing a really good job. So I thought Jack Martin's effort and energy around the ball early was strong. I thought we had guys that got their hands on the ball. I thought Ed Curnow got his hands on the ball. I actually thought it was probably more, particularly after the first quarter, was more our ball use once we got our hands on the ball. Eddie's a challenge. Teams are obviously putting a fair bit of time into Patrick, but I think some of the games we've won is when he hasn't had a big impact because we've shared the load, and we're looking for Will Setterfield, David Cunningham, Jack Martin, Ed Curnow, these guys, Sam Walsh, Mark Murphy. We want them to share the load. We don't want to rely on one. We want them to balance out. But obviously today I thought Steele was very good.
How have you rated Crippers here so far, Teague?
It's an interesting one. He probably hasn't been at the level that he would love to be at, but there's a couple of games where we've loved the role he's played for us. So if you count possessions, he's probably down. But it's a balancing act between being really effective for the team. I thought his Geelong, he got us going early, he was really strong. Excuse me, down there. But yeah, his Richmond game too, I thought was pretty strong. So he's had a couple of good games and a couple of games where we've been able to use. I think last week against Essendon, he created a bit of space for our other mids, and David Cunningham and these guys got the ball. I thought that was really selfless, and I think that's when we're at our best, when we can do that.
Is that hard for him? Like, he's a superstar of the competition and has there been times where he's playing as a decoy? Is that what you mean by creating space? He's creating space for his teammates. I mean, you he deliberately going away from the ball in some of those stoppages that you're talking about?
Yeah, at times, and he makes those calls. So, there's a couple of examples last week where someone was coming to him and he would go to someone else and free up a guy. So when that happens, we want the ball to go to the free guy. We don't want it to go to Cripps. If it ends up there, we know he'll compete. So look, I think the really good teams, and that's what they do, they make the best out of their teammates. And Patrick's, I think, added that to his game in the way he's making his teammates around him better.
Are you expecting more out of Harry Mackay?
Well, I thought the delivery forward wasn't great. To be honest, I thought our ball use, to be honest, that was probably the thing that frustrated me most. Once we got back into the game was our ball use, our ability. And then when we did get it down there, I thought quite often we had two guys flying. They'd been really good, particularly the Geelong game, sort of keeping separated and not jumping into each other. But today, and it wasn't always tools, we often had a couple of guys flying. And it was probably off the speed of our ball, our ability to get it in there quick to one-on-ones. We struggled a little bit. So often your tall forwards... They're hampered a little bit by the way the ball comes in, and your small forwards are hampered by the number of times it gets in there. So, I thought today there was a couple where we moved the ball well and we just missed the kick. I'm okay with those ones, but then there was other times of decision making. I thought we just weren't as sharp as we have been.
Is that because of the lack of training and connectivity and having the group together for prolonged periods?
I don't think so. I think it's just ability to be consistent. We've showed at times throughout this year. I'm really confident that we'll get it right. And missed kicks are missed kicks. I'll keep backing our players in to go for them. And sometimes, you get scored against, but we want to be as good as we can. And I'm going to back our players in to keep going for their skills.
Just on the tall forwards, you got it done last week with just the two, McGovern and Casbolt. Are you committed to three, or is it something you're happy to tinker with, given it's worked with the three and the two?
Yeah, did you watch the game against Essendon?
They kicked 5 of the 7, but
yeah, but they intercepted a lot of our balls. We didn't get it to ground,
yeah. So
they actually outmarked us. So I thought early the Saints actually took a couple of marks as well. Where this week I didn't think it was as big an issue. So we'll pick our best team, and if those three guys are in form, I thought they'd played really well together down at Geelong, and this was the second time they got to do it. So I'm not going to go too hard on changing the whole system just because of one game.
How do you feel about the hubs?
Look, for our group, I think it's exciting. It's every individual's different, and each player, but the opportunity to go away as a group, our group is sort of we're starting to get a little bit of consistency. So I think it's a great opportunity to continue to build relationships while being respectful for the families and partners, and whether they come or not, I'm not sure. We don't know where we're even going yet. So, but for our group, I'm a bit excited.
Zach Fisher, a late withdrawal, just a bit of a bug.
Gastro, I think. Yeah, I got a call today, and I never like it when the doctor calls me game day, and he said Fish was coming in. Then I just got a text saying he's out. So just a bit of a bug. We're excited to get him back. He's done the work, and but Sam Philp got another opportunity, which was exciting. You never really want to play a first game at once, but with Fisher coming back, we rate Fish. But it was good to see Philpy out there again tonight.
Teague, possibly last season. Do you think Jack Martin's been your best player so far this season?
Oh, it's a hard one.
He's
Big pardon?
Is he up there?
Oh, absolutely, he's up there. We love what he's brought to his football club. We love having him as part of our group, his personality, the way he trains. But we've had some good players this year. I think Wiedering, Levi Casbolt, Cripps has still been pretty good. So Doherty's obviously having a strong season as well. So, and that's what we want. We want a group of players. We don't want to be relying on one or two. So when you get those guys spread across the field, Mark Pitteneth's probably another one that's been playing well. So, but he has been playing well.